Smart Nonsense Podcast, where we talk about smarts.
Nonsense.
Dude.
Nice.
New season. New season of the pod. The season of giving. The season of yes.
Oh.
The season of
The giver.
life and summer and
Frolicking, dude.
all, yeah. Sunflowering.
Dude. And a meadow.
Welcome back. It's been 2 days off. We were a little bit out of juice, a little bit out of smart nonsense.
Well, it's...
But I'm back. Dude, I was riding...
Celebrity-dependent podcast.
Yeah, so I was riding my bike. I was telling you over the weekend. Well, the reason I didn't feel like podding at the end of last week is because we had discovered this new niche where you and I live our lives in and around the city, and we see celebrities and withhold them, tease each other with who we saw, and then make them the title and the thumbnail.
Mm-hmm.
And after 2 days of not seeing someone new, I think the Smart Nonsense Podcast is over. Today riding a scooter back from lunch, I see in front of me a guy with like a Hawaiian shirt, shorts, a mullet, and flip-flops. And I'm like,
Palmer Luckey.
That's Palmer Luckey, dude.
Dude.
And so I full throttle my scooter. I'm like, I swear to God, pod's in 2 hours. I gotta go see if that's Palmer Luckey. I get next to him. It wasn't Palmer Luckey, dude. It was Palmer Luckey Beat. And I was like, I should ask him to take a selfie just for the pod. And then I'm going to send it to Pop and be like, dude, you're never going to believe who I saw. And it's just Palmer Luckey Beat. No, I didn't, because that niche of the pod needs to die. And we need to move on.
Yeah, dude. Because we were running out of pod. And I did find myself doing the same thing where I'd like see people. I was walking down West Side Highway. I saw this girl, quick glanced, and then she walked by, and I'm like, wait, that was Cleo Abram. And I'm like, I got to go back and say hi to Cleo Abram. But then I'm like, I was like really trying to force it being Cleo Abram. And it totally, I didn't even go back because I'm like, dude, I would know if that's Cleo Abram. I was trying to like force this generic looking like tall brunette woman into being Cleo Abram for the podcast.
It's psychological warfare out here with ourselves.
Well, here's the thing. Normally, like, creators get sucked down this rabbit hole because they're chasing views. Like, oh, this new niche gets views, so let's double down on that. Versus, there's no.
Well, it gives us fodder.
Regardless.
It gives us fodder. We record the podcast every day.
Chasing fodder.
We talk all day. At some point, you run out of things to talk about.
Right. Can't just be making noises on the podcast.
So then you have to take a break, 48 hours off, build up the fodder.
Summer camp.
Go to summer camp, which we'll get into. Dude, you just said a second ago, you said a catchphrase I really like.
Oh, yeah?
Do you know what you said?
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing, dude. And here's the thing about here's the thing. I know where you got it from.
Oh, yeah?
You got it from somebody by the name of Daniel Tosh.
Did I really?
And here's the thing. And by the way, he does a lot of those.
Huh. Nice transition, dude.
Thank you. I prepared for this podcast by listening to every single podcast of the Tosh Show, or the ones I like, because I saw him live last week. And I need to apologize to you, actually, because you would send me Tosh Show podcasts, and I wouldn't listen to them because I was like, those are dumb, dude. His guest is his kid, his wife's gynecologist, and a plumber. I'm like, I watch Tosh.0 religiously, but like that's the dude's falling off. So I'm not doing those. Then I go see him live, and I'm like, Daniel Tosh is my spirit animal, dude.
Yeah.
He's funny. He sounds like a good dad. He's in love with his wife. He has chickens and pigs and a ranch. He said he goes to his house in Lake Tahoe and just puts his phone on airplane mode for like 2 months. Can't reach him.
Yeah.
He's a grumpy. What's your munger thing?
Grumpy. Old grumpy munger pants.
He's an old grumpy munger pants. He's a hilarious cynic. Yeah. So
he's actually 50 and he looks great.
That's the other thing. He looks like he's 35.
Yeah.
And he's like cynical about life, but like he takes care of himself. And I'm like, this That's my guy, dude.
Right. And
So
I really like when his wife was on the podcast. Like, he's not a different person around his wife. Like, he roasts her more than probably anybody else.
she wrote for Tosh.0, so she's
Yeah.
probably funnier than him or writes a lot of that stuff.
Right.
I didn't finish my apology. Another reason I'm in love with him is because it's not only is he interviewing his wife and his kid and his plumber and his gynecologist and talking about his vasectomy on the pod, he said in a pod, like, he doesn't care about what his audience thinks or wants or what guests they want him to interview. He's going to do whatever he wants to do and talk to whoever he wants to talk to. And he's just going to do it his way, dude.
Right. Yeah. Right. He's like the Jason Fried of comedy, where it's just his own terms, dude. And I really like, because he's hard to see. He doesn't really travel. Like, I was surprised he went to Chicago. Like, he rarely goes outside of like Vegas or California for shows. And he also, he was talking about how like he's declined. Like, he was huge probably 10 years ago, and he's still like big, but he's not like, he didn't chase the fame or anything, so he didn't like really continue selling stadiums or anything like that. And he had this saying, he's like,
just pause right there, because on the stadium point, he said something interesting that I also like, dude. I'm
it's
eating
probably the
this
same
guy
point.
up. Is it about stadiums?
Yeah.
Small theaters?
Yeah.
Proceed.
Proceed. Well, he never wanted to like go, and maybe he did a couple, I don't really know, but he never wanted to like get hooked on the stadiums, because like once you go from stadiums and then you have that fall from grace and you come down to theaters, it's kind of depressing. So he was just like, I'm just never going to do the stadiums. I'm just going to sell out theaters all the time and always sell them out.
He also does it. Dude, fuck, I love this guy so much. Stadiums, it's like 3,000 people. They're beautiful stadiums. They were made for watching theater, in his case, comedy. So the acoustics are really good. And there's no like, folding chairs on the football field kind of thing. Like, he's like, these structures, they're small, they're dense, they were built for this thing. I just want to be really good at that thing. Nice. And dude, here's another thing I was impressed about, okay?
Oh, wow.
And listening to a lot of Tosh, I can tell my own cadence is changing. I don't know if you can tell, but I can hear it. Old grumpy munger pants. Dude, he did a 90-minute set. I can't even imagine being on, acting, if you will, in front of a crowd for 90 minutes. And every punchline was like, he murdered.
Well,
90
it's
minutes.
Because
that's
he
so
doesn't
much time.
Put out specials. So I think he's probably just been perfecting this same set for the last 10 years. Like the last,
Except
I remember
it was
I watched
all
his,
new
like,
stuff.
2007 set.
It was a lot of like young kids stuff, which is, he's got a 1-2 year old and a 5-year-old. So,
right. Yeah, I mean, every comedian now. Oh, there he is.
Sorry, dude. Every comedian now.
Your new love.
No.
Well, every comedian now, it's like they base their whole life around launching a Netflix special. So they'll do like a year or two perfecting a set. They'll then record at the end of that, like 2 years, and then have to redo their whole set. Versus he's probably just like gradually switching stuff out as he gets bored of the content and adds new stuff in as it comes in. He's just like, comedian, just doing it for the love of the game.
Absolute love of the game. A game I love. What was it? Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
This was funny. I heard on another podcast that he said he has his set like pretty dialed, anywhere from an hour and 5 minutes to an hour and 30. And he was saying like, so I thought he murdered, right? But he was saying, this wasn't in the show, but on a podcast, because I listen to all of them, that if he goes from an hour 5, if he starts pushing an hour and 30, it's because he's not doing well, and he thinks if he just like keeps going or keeps trying new stuff, like something will hit and he can redeem it.
Yeah.
And that was, as the blind viewer, like I thought he murdered. So to me, I was like, 90 minutes, like give me more. But in his head, maybe it's like a perfectionist thing. Like he was trying, he was just like trying to stay out there, I guess, and land better jokes. But it just gets to like the average viewer doesn't know or care. Anyone who's like over good enough, it's like, it's great to be the viewer.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really good. I mean, I told you before you went, but I went to him back, I think when we were in college. And I went with my whole family, and my mom gets really excited. She starts whistling. Then my brother yelled at my mom for whistle. She whistles loud, like
She
fucking
does.
2 fingers in the mouth.
She does.
And my brother's like, "You're gonna blow out my eardrums. Don't whistle, please." And then she,
Was it that nice?
Daniel's crushing, huh? No, my brother's pretty aggressive. Probably not that nice, but gave her a fair warning. And then he's just crushing punchlines. So the fingers go in the mouth, out comes the whistle, and off goes my brother's head, and he freaked out on her, and she Ubered home like 45 minutes away and missed basically 90% of his awesome set, which you'll never get to see because he doesn't do specials. So, takeaway, pros and cons, something. I don't know. But yeah, dude, he's awesome. He's awesome. I really like him. Maybe you should have followed him. Maybe it becomes the Stalker podcast.
My takeaway from seeing the show was like, I think I might actually want to hang out with that guy because I like an old grumpy munger pants.
He probably doesn't want to hang out with you.
He doesn't. He doesn't. That's where I do wonder. I think it seems as if he is really just being himself.
Totally.
All the way from like early Tosh to like listening to him on recent podcast episodes. I think he is just an old grumpy munger pants, and his kind of genius, I guess, is making observations about the world. I don't know. He's just really cynical, and I'm cynical at heart.
Yeah,
that's a no man though. I know this is the season of yes and giving.
I think you're not very disagreeable. He's very disagreeable, and he'll say like things on the podcast. Like he does this segment where he just like gives people stuff he wants to throw out as gifts on the show. And they'll like keep it on the table, and he's like, "No, get it off my table." And he'll just like say that.
But then sometimes he breaks, like in the interview, and this would happen on Tosh.0 as well. He like breaks, and then I'm like, "Is he playing this cynical character?" I'm sure it's dialed up.
Yeah.
When he breaks, I'm like, "That's who I want to be friends." That right there, that break right there. Let me just slide right in there, and
dude.
Anyway,
and he just hangs out in Malibu or wherever he lives, and he just surfs every day.
Surfer, yes.
Hanging.
Malibu.
Just vibe. Yeah, maybe. I mean, if we get rich enough, we could probably move near him.
For
That'd
sure.
be kind of cool.
So yeah, I have like 15 fodders
also,
on
dude,
Tosh. Yeah.
He's like
He's got OCD and is really organized and anal.
Yeah. He's like pretty liberal. And like,
dude, he's super liberal.
Yeah.
Which
you never really guess it.
I forget because he's old grumpy munger pants.
Right. But he'll someone came on and they were rich or something. I forget the exact context, but it was something like this person wanted to was bitching about taxes in California and like, I'm gonna move to Puerto Rico or something. And he's like, why? Like, so I can have more money. He's like, the fuck's the point of that, dude? You got enough.
Yeah.
Tosh is like, I'll just pay all my taxes. I don't care. Take whatever you want.
He takes care of the people around him. I think that's so it's like he's obviously really good at his game, which is comedy. And then the bits and pieces of his lifestyle you hear, kind of like when you said he's the Jason Fried of comedy or whatever. I'm like, he also checks off the lifestyle boxes for me. Yeah. It sounds like he's good to people. He's good to his family. He he like really values high quality things, but then he's also super liberal and is like, that all that stuff over there is bullshit. And like, you don't need all that.
Yeah.
I think I got a crush, dude. I think awesome. I got the first crush I had in a while. It's Bruno Mars, now Daniel Tosh.
And they both behave similarly. Bruno just hangs out in L.A.
I think
he's doing shows out there.
Yeah.
Not L.A.
Bruno is not necessarily a family man. Bruno is not a family.
What do you mean?
Man.
Isn't he married?
I think that ended. And I don't think they were ever married. I think he was stringing her along for 12 years.
That ended?
I think they separated.
Oh, brutal.
But I don't know the guy, dude.
Tosh
do I know?
Crushing it, dude. Dude, and when he has his dog on at the end of every episode,
dude,
like he doesn't give up.
So
fuck,
okay,
dude.
right. So you sent me like clips of the podcast early on, and it was him talking to his dog. And I haven't watched Tosh.0 in 10 years. I hadn't seen him live. I hadn't listened to anything. I I didn't understand. I thought he was just fucking around to be annoying. And then I gave him, maybe there's a bigger lesson here about like, don't just write people off. Don't be judgmental. I gave him a little bit and I'm like, dude, let me watch the whole 45-minute dog pod episode. Because he's talking to his dog, Carl. And his dog, Carl's like falling asleep.
Like, dude, yeah. Such stupid dog. But yeah, he just doesn't care. Like I'm gonna have this segment. I don't care. Yeah,
it
something about the authenticity.
Every episode ends with a story from his kid at story time.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm all in on Daniel Tosh, but that's enough. I think that's enough about that. Probably for a decade's worth of content.
I'm glad you came around to him, though, dude.
Where you been? You seen any stand-ups live? I know you were. You got sent away for summer camp.
Yeah.
That was an odd thing to hear about.
Well, not really for the yes man. You know, when you think about it.
Wait. Okay. So before we get into that, really quick, we were in our weekly call with our developer, Big J, and we were talking about you and your weekend plans, which were summer camp. And Big J was like, "Oh, so Dylan's like that movie Yes Man," and we're like, "What?" The Jim Carrey movie? So I pull it up, and I just wanted to read off the synopsis so we can get this on the record. Because you're a rom-com, dude.
I'm rom-com.
So why can't I find the synopsis this time? Huh? What's up with that?
Didn't take a screenshot.
I didn't. I was on my computer. Hang on.
Hey, dude.
Here we go. Carl Allen, a.k.a. Jim Carrey, is stuck in a rut with his negative ways. Then he goes to a self-help seminar and learns to unleash the power of yes.
Nice, dude.
Living in the affirmative leads him to all sorts of amazing and transforming experiences. He gets a job promotion and even finds a new romance. Wow. But Carl finds that too much of anything, even positive thinking, is not necessarily a good thing.
Wait, so I have some negative stuff coming up.
Well, no,
I'm in the pre-butt era.
No. The reason this was particularly funny is because one, it follows your life to a T. But on Friday, you were in the butt era because you were like, I said yes to this weekend thing, and like, oh no, dude, you were hungover from the Met Gala.
And slammed.
So you were kind of like, why am I saying yes to everything? I need to, I need to leave this call early because I'm getting on a school bus to go to summer camp.
A 3 p.m. call and I was drunk. I was like, what is going on, dude? What is this?
Well, what was going on? You said you went to like a Young Leaders
World
Gala.
Wait. So I had a friend that I met at Othership, and she's like a member of all these different museums, and one of them is Met Museum, and they have like a young members party, which is sick. It's on the roof, and they only open the roof. Like it's not going to be open for the next 5 years. Really sick party, just like a lot of beautiful people, let me tell you. Open bar, and just absolutely good after it. Hold on, wait, I had something.
And that's a Thursday, right?
This is a Thursday. Oh, okay. So I had told my friends, like I asked my friends if they wanted to go a while back, but the tickets were like $200 or something. So they were kind of like not about it because they're not yes men, but I'm about it. So I went, and I think they like forgot that I had signed up for this event, and they were all leaving the city for like 4th of July. So they tried to schedule like a late dinner, for like. They didn't tell me at the time, but they're all getting together for like a dinner, and it was going to be like my birthday dinner before everyone leaves the city. and so like my roommate Jack, I'm hearing this all after the fact. Like they had like a 10 p.m. dinner just because I would get out at 11 and then like come join them. So they like went to the dinner, and maybe 5 of them, and they got like a birthday cake for me and everything. And like, yeah, dude, just come after the Met Gala.
They don't know Heat on, dude.
Dude, Heat on.
Heat on, who's hedonistic, god of pleasure, whatever.
Dude, Got a pleasure.
I'll throw another word at you. Myopia, right? Only being able to
Right.
see like what's right in front of
Dude.
your face. So pleasurable myopia.
And it was all blurry. I couldn't see. It was right-
if Hedon's locked in to like an
Dude.
event or a date or a person or a sport, like you're not hearing
Right.
from Hedon.
Dude.
Like what
Well,
a mistake.
One of my big things is quality time. And so when I'm
That
in
too.
the moment, I really want to be in the moment, and I'm not gonna change up my plans. And yeah, so I slugged so much rosé. I didn't know where I was in space and time, and then fucking I don't know. I ended up at one place on some roof somewhere else.
Wait,
And then
Coy or Ken, whoever's editing this episode right here, right now, can we run a instant replay on 2 weeks ago when you said like alcohol is the eighth wonder of the world and it's the best thing to ever happen to anybody?
dude,
Takeaway, dude.
Is Lindy.
Alcohol fucking
drink
rips,
now?
dude. Dude, just slamming the spectrum right in the sweet spot.
it's phenomenal. Like one, I didn't even realize like it's pretty rude to like turn people down. Like then you kill the vibe. So it's like I have
Kill
a
the
rosé.
vibe.
The problem is when it's open bar and then it's have another rosé and then maybe one more. And so
Yeah, once
I ended up what?
Once you've had 2 or 3 rosés,
It's
they no
exponential.
longer need asking. Right. Then you go on the hunt for rosé.
Or
And
they
you
find
know-
you even.
They do find you. You'll fallen
know.
soldiers. There'll be rosés on a table. You need something. You're putting
No,
those
well,
down.
Part of the problem was I didn't even realize I was. I mean, that's obviously the classic like drunk problem. You don't realize you're
Dude
drunk.
figures out alcohol from first principles at 28. Didn't even realize I
Yeah.
was drunk.
So they were like tracking my location because they thought I was gonna come to the dinner at 11 when it closed. The party closed. But then they found me and I was like at some girl's rooftop somewhere, and they're like, "Where the fuck is Dylan?" And then they keep trying to track me, and like I get some text from some chick at midnight. She's like, "Are you at Soho House?" I'm like, "No, but I'll be there." And then I fucking beeline to Soho House, and then I couldn't find her there, probably because I was hammered. But then I found these other 2 hot chicks and some dude. I'm like, "I'll join your foursome." And dude, we were out till like 5 a.m. with these random people. No idea what happened on a Thursday, and I wake up like right before our call, hammered, and I was just like, dude, fucking heat on the yes man. And so then I'm like, okay, I got this. I had to pack quick before our call. I get on the call. I'm like, I got to go to summer camp. And then I literally go to the fucking school bus because it's a school bus bringing us to summer camp. Still hammered. And so yeah, then I went to summer camp, dude.
Kid in a candy shop, dude. What was summer camp?
Well, dude, summer camp. We were hoping it'd be more of our friends, but it cost a decent amount of money to go to summer camp, and so a lot didn't want to do it. It was just me and another buddy, and we tried to convince one of our buddies, but he's like, "Dude, this summer camp is adverse selection," which means like the people that are gonna say yes to go to this summer camp are probably not the people you want to go to summer camp with, because
Yes, sir.
they're
absolutely
probably
understand that.
But I was
It's
like,
similar
dude, I
to
don't-
that. It's similar to that idea of like, I think if you're really trying hard to find a partner or whatever, like that desperation or neediness like goes into the universe, and that's what you end up finding, kind of thing.
Oh, dude, that's
So I get
nailed
the
it on the head.
selection of summer camp.
Nailed it on. Yeah, and it was kind
Bunch
of like
yes
a
men
single
that were
summer
formerly
camp.
no men.
Yeah, right. So it's just me and my buddy, and we go on this bus, and they match you with someone on the bus, but we hit traffic, so you're like, what? They match you like seating arrangement wise, they match you with somebody. So you're with a random person, and it turned into like a 3.5-hour bus ride with a random person. So I just had to fake I was car sick, and I fucking dipped on my person, but my other buddy got locked in, and he was screwed. And he was
Like you
talking
just like put a hood on and like.
my
What
other
do you
buddy.
mean you dipped? There's nowhere to go. No, you said.
I went to the back of the bus and like by the luggage, and I just like fucking threw myself into the luggage just so I could be alone. Yeah, because I was actually kind of car sick because I was slugging more wine on the bus, dude. Dude. But okay, so we get to summer camp, and part of the problem is like when we got on the buses, there was only half the like contingent of people there, But we realized like we're told the ratio is going to be 50-50 guys to girls. Dude,
Adverse selection, dude.
80-20, dude. Guys to girls. So adverse. It was crazy. So like, dude, I hope the other bus was only chicks. Like, did we get on the dude bus by accident? And we got there, and it was, the ratio was not good, not in our favor. So like, the few attractive females there, you'd go to talk to them, and suddenly like the fucking SpongeBob, the nematode things, like you
Or
just
moths.
see 5 nematodes just
Yeah.
moths to light. So we were just like, dude, what are we doing at summer camp right now? And
Who organized summer camp? What was the thesis of summer camp?
well, there's this social club called Maxwell House, which is, I think it's kind of cool. It's got some talks, and it's like a dinner party club thing. But they organized it. I don't know, dude. I don't know my takeaways really. Well, okay. So Maxwell House, we all get there, whatever. Bunch of events. It's like a proper, it's summer camp, so they just got a bunch of activities lined up. And the first half of summer camp, we're just bummed because we're like, what the fuck? There's no hot chicks, and the few that there are, they're swarmed. Okay, but as time went on, and they're swarmed by nematodes. Time went on, dude.
Don't think you're above the adverse selection either. All right.
No,
I know.
I'm as adverse as any of them. Fuck. I don't know my takeaways. I still haven't processed a lot of this, but the point is, over time, like nature was made right, in that, like, the nematodes were found to be nematodes, and then we found our people. Oh,
So
these are my takes.
So it's wow.
Hold on.
Well, that's interesting because that sounds like 12-year-old sleepaway camp. Cliques
was.
form, you find your people.
Well, dude, there was one
Lindy.
guy. So there weren't attractive chicks at this place, but one guy, he brought like 10 like model type chicks, and we're like, who the fuck is this guy Griffin? And so I don't know. He just literally, all the attractive females were through him, and so we kind of, whatever, we started like jamming with him a bunch, and then started hanging out with them. But dude, what's my takeaway? I don't really know. Summer camp was sick though. By the end of it was sick because then we found our people, our clique, and we hung out with our clique, and there's a lot of cool activities during the day, late at night. They had a really cool obstacle course in the water with a bunch of giant floaties. Really fun there. So there's this big floaty. It was called the iceberg. It maybe 15 feet up. It's like fucking giant, and you could like, at a rock wall, you could try and scale up. Really difficult. But yes, basically to get on top, there was like the hard side, which was like a inverted. It was really hard to get up, and there was like the slightly easier side, but it was still pretty hard. And so my buddy that I'm with, he's like going up. I was gonna go up behind him, so I start getting on the lifeguard. Also, there was like the camp counselor ratio. It was like 1-to-1 or like 2-to-1. There was so many fucking camp counselors just everywhere. Like,
What?
It made
Why
no
did
sense.
Well, were camp counselors the same age, or were they
They were
60-year-olds?
probably younger than us. I don't know. Just like a lot of people
Oh,
with
so it was-
whistles and like lifeguards and stuff, and like fucking.
So it was a
people
literal
walking around.
summer camp. with
Yeah,
cabins
this
and
place is
stuff.
like built for some. Like during the
Oh.
week, it's a kids summer camp, and on the weekends, it's a adult summer camp. It's around the weekend.
So they were legitimate camp counselors,
Yeah,
and there were
or like
tons of them. How many people were there? 2 school buses?
4 school buses. I don't know if they were
Jesus.
entirely full. It was probably like
300?
150 people. Yeah, I think it was less than you think. Maybe 150 people. I don't really know. And it felt like 150 these camp counselors. But my buddy's trying to go up the iceberg, and I go to get on it too, and they blow the whistle, and I'm like, dude, like, let me go up the iceberg. And like, no, you can't go up the iceberg. He might fall. I'm like, dude, it's child's play. Like, I've seen like small children go up the iceberg. And then right as he says that, I fucking see my buddy just tumbling down towards me and just slams right next to me, dude. I wish I could. I wish I had a video. The timing was so good.
Into
I'm like,
water?
I haven't seen anyone fall from this thing all weekend. And as I say that, fucking snowballs just coming down the iceberg. It was fun, dude. It was fun. We made some friends.
Lifelong friends?
Maybe one. Well, they have a lot of cool events. So what we're trying to do right now, we get the 4th of July. And my buddy, he has tickets to like the coolest Hamptons party. And I've never been to the Hamptons. I don't know if he has, but like we don't have a place to stay in the Hamptons. Okay, but we have access to the coolest party. Like huge DJs. And so we're trying to figure out how we can go to this party.
You might gotta camp.
Well, I don't even know if you can do that. So we're gonna try and like sleep. Yeah, maybe on the beach on someone's.
Wouldn't be the
but it's
first
like
time.
a 4-day. It's like a 4-day fucking event. So like gonna be there a while. So we need somewhere to stay. We're trying to like sleep on the floor, and we're just like asking people. We might get crazy yes man.
You must know
We
somebody.
really. It's kind of like a different tier of society.
Oh.
Like none of.
You
none
think
of
you're
our
going to become a
brown friends-
socialite?
I don't want to be, but this is kind of a socialite thing.
Got to know somebody.
Nah. Sorry, no tangible takeaways from summer camp.
Dude, there's so many implied takeaways. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I just ate them right up. Your birthday's tomorrow. Doing anything
Yeah.
fun for that? We'll have a special edition of the podcast, so make sure you subscribe.
Yeah. Huh.
That'll be July 1st.
Yeah. No. The day after, though, I'm going to see a movie at 9 a.m., and then I'm going to a friend's talk at noon, and then I might hang
That's
out with
crazy
someone from
behavior.
camp after that.
A 9 a.m. movie.
Yeah. F1.
Why 9 a.m.?
I'm going to an event in Upper West Side around at noon, so I have like a little 3-hour gap, and I'm like, that's gonna tuck in nice.
Yeah. Never done a 9 a.m. movie. See, I shouldn't.
Gardaloo! See, you shouldn't Gardaloo, dude. Nice.
I should. Yeah.